On this episode of the Black Boss Ladies platform,
when God gives you your gift, most of the time we don't see it because it's so easy. It's who we are. It's part of what we do. So it takes time, and when you look back, you're like, I was always doing
That's
this.
what I just recently said.
Right.
Yes.
So it's almost like an awakening to who you already are.
But I answered the phone, and it was like, hey, it's Christi Robertson available. I'm like, yeah. They was like, well, this is so-and-so from MasterChef. I'm like, okay. Like, please, come on here. I was like, okay. And I was like, yeah, we received your application.
what application?
That's what I'm saying.
So he calls for collaboration. He has the experience in the food truck, and then he decides, I don't want to do this soul burgers no more.
Yeah.
And he wanted it to be called soul burgers.
Yeah. So he wanted that.
Welcome to the Black Boss Ladies platform, the place where legacies live.
Welcome to the Black Boss Ladies platform. I'm Julia Myers.
And I'm Tiffany Lee. And today we have Christi Robertson. She is an ESTL native, okay? My classmate. And she is the owner of CNC, Food for Your Soul restaurant. And if you are in Illinois or Missouri, you may know her food truck, which is Soul Burgers. I know that they were in Tower Grove Park for like the favorite food trucks for Food Truck Friday.
Yes.
So if you see them, go and get those burgers like this big.
That's right.
I gotta put my fingers on.
That's right.
Okay. So welcome, Christi Robertson.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
We are excited. I can't wait to hear about your story and your journey through entrepreneurship. So, cooking. Okay. Before we jump in, though, we always ask our guests to define what success is for them. Like, we've named off your restaurants being famous in Tower Grove Park, I think it was.
That's the food truck. Yes.
For you, what does success mean? What's your definition of it?
I would say my definition of success is seeing people under me being successful.
Mm.
To be able to mentor students, friends, family members that's interested in the business, to teach them what I have learned for them to move forward and them being successful. And I can sit back and be like, yeah, that's me.
That's me. I did that.
Yes, and my success, I would think, would be to see other people be successful from my success.
Love it.
Yeah, I love that too. And it's it's interesting. You're not the first person to say
Not
that,
at all.
right? And it's really interesting because you're on this platform, and the goal of the platform really is to help other Black women to step into their purpose.
Yeah.
So you coming on here is almost a furthering of that success that you're talking
alignment.
about. Yeah.
Yep.
Thanks
Telling
for that.
Yeah, thanks for coming, telling your story, so that people that are watching and they want to go and down sort of the same path you have, understanding the struggles that come with that, but understanding like they too can do it. So I love your definition of success. So, cooking. How we get there?
Oh man,
Was
it's
that
a
the beginning?
passion. I went to Lincoln Senior High School, class of '92. Yeah. Title for life.
Right.
I was in the choir, and we had the opportunity to go to Canada.
Okay.
So, but my mother and father, I'm the youngest of 5, and my mother and father, it would do anything and everything for me. But I'm like, I'm gonna make this money myself.
You gonna
Figure
get
out,
it yourself.
I'm gonna get it myself, even though I know they would do it. But I'm saying, but I'm gonna do it myself. So every night I would bake a chocolate cake and a yellow cake with chocolate icing every night. And we weren't supposed to sell stuff at school, but I had it in my little book bag. But I sold the slices 50 cents a piece.
Really?
Oh yeah. So I would make about $15 or $20 a day.
Oh.
And then when the principal would buy a slice, and then when the teachers started buying whole cakes for their classes or homeroom classes for like Thanksgiving and Christmas, I was like, oh, I would make some money. Yeah.
So did you get enough money to go?
I made my own money to go to that trip. My mother and father didn't have to pay for anything. But I was like, but Dad, this cooking thing is something. You have your little easy bake oven. You make your little
Hair
pies.
windows.
Yeah, the little cakes you made with that little light bulb.
Right. Yeah, and you think back like this light bulb.
Light bulb for me. That bulb was hot. Yeah. So then when I went to college, I went to SIUE for a couple of years, and I wasn't raised on like ramen noodles and stuff like that. So we didn't live in dorms. We stayed in apartments. So I cooked. And so the guys were like, hey, what did y'all cook? Yeah, I need somebody to sample. I'm like, y'all don't have to sample, just come on in and eat. So then when I moved to Chicago, I was married, then I went through a divorce, and then I came home, and I needed to make some money.
Yes.
And so I was like, well, let me see. I'm a cook. My sister worked at Eastside. She was a teacher at Eastside. And I was like, well, I'm going to send a menu to the school with her to see if I could sell some plates. So first week was 10 plates. The next week was 20 plates, then 30 plates. And I was selling them $10 a plate. I said, man, I can make some money. People like it, you know. And so I enjoy people enjoying my food more so than me enjoying it myself. So then I went to SLU. Worked at SLU for a few years, and then at the time I was dating someone, and I used to watch MasterChef. I watched the cooking shows.
I love MasterChef.
Baby, my TV stayed on the cooking network. So one day on my way, and one day he was just asking a whole lot of questions and stuff, and I'm like, okay, general question, it is what it is. So on my way to work one day, I got a call from MasterChef.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got a call from California, and my sister lived in California. I was like, this is not her number. And when I answered the phone, I know numbers I don't really answer. But I answered the phone, and it was like, hey, is Christi Robertson available? And I'm like, yeah. They say, well, this is so-and-so from MasterChef. I'm like, okay.
This
like,
scam.
Please, come on now. I was like, okay. And it was like, yeah, we received your application.
What application?
That's what I said. What application? So I'm going along with it or whatever. So they were doing interviews in Chicago. Shortly after the conversation, they said, would you be interested in coming? Absolutely. So I'm like, okay, cool. So I go home, and I'll go to work and go home, and I'm telling my guy at the time, I was like, yeah, you won't believe MasterChef. He laughing and stuff, and I was like, I did that.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Those questions I was asking you, I sent in the application for that. So then while I was at SLU, I was going through that whole process, and then I knew I wasn't going to be at SLU long because I was interested in possibly having a restaurant.
Wait a minute. What were you going to SLU for?
I worked for public safety.
Okay.
I was a dispatcher for public safety. I've been there from working. I worked at East St. Louis Police Department, Washington Park Police Department, and so I was there. And I had intentions on just being there.
And just return.
Yeah, absolutely. So then when I went through that, I was like, cooking is a passion for me. This is what I love to do.
Yes.
And the supervisor, the chief of the department at the time, was like, we know you're not gonna be here long.
So let's back up a bit, because you gave us a really great story, and I want to dive into it, because from what I hear is that you saw its power in high school, right? You were able to take like $5 for everything and make $15, right? Yeah. And then this is not something you're supposed to be doing. Right. Now the teacher's buying it, and you get to go on your trip to Canada.
Yes.
But then you don't really put it. You go in another direction.
Yeah, because I'm a kid.
Like you really not anything goes in the power what the seed is planted.
Yes.
So then you get to college, and you're cooking, because college students would be hungry.
Yes.
You talk about you would eat something not Roman noodles.
Right.
Now more people at your door. Again, you see the power, but you're still not.
Yeah.
And then you get married, go your separate ways. And you come back, but it's like cooking is still always there.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
But I want to know, backing up a little bit, because you went to cosmetology school, right?
Cosmetology by trade.
So wait a minute. So was the cosmetology school before or after MasterChef? Oh, so it was before.
Yeah, MasterChef was a few years ago.
Okay.
Cosmetology school, I went there in like '96.
Okay.
And shortly after that, then I got married.
What took you to cosmetology school?
I needed something to do.
It needed something.
I needed something to do, and I was working at Ryan Steakhouse.
Okay.
And then I met a friend who's a phenomenal friend, Crystal Bush. She's a real good friend of mine now, and she was in cosmetology school.
Okay.
And I was like,
I could do that.
yeah, I can do this. I need something to do. Went to cosmetology school, and I did hair. While I was in Jefferson City, Missouri, I went to Maryland University in Jefferson City, Missouri. Okay. So I did hair there. And then after we got married, then I moved to Chicago. So that was my, source of income. I worked as a cosmetologist, a hairstylist in Chicago.
So right now you're not really cooking though.
Oh, yeah.
You're cooking for yourself, but are you cooking for other people?
I cook for whoever want to eat.
Whoever.
Yeah, that's my
life. It's your passion.
That's my passion. And it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like work.
So why then, like she was saying, if the cooking was there in high school, it was there in college, early college at SIU, before you went to cosmetology school, it was always there. Why go to cosmetology school?
Well, cosmetology school was before. Well, it was after college. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't. It wasn't something that I had. It wasn't a passion then. I love to eat.
Yeah.
And then after you start seeing people like your food, then you're like, sure, I can get paid off of this.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things too that when God gives you your gift, most of the time we don't see it because it's so easy. Yeah. It's who we are. It's a part of what we do. Yeah. So it takes time, and when you look back, you're like, I was always doing
That's
this.
What I just recently said.
Right.
Yes.
So it's almost like an awakening to who you already are.
I just said that to my best friend the other day. If I knew then what I know now, I would have went to cooking school, to culinary school. But a lot of the chefs on the platform, they can go to cosmetology. I mean, they can go to culinary school. Some of them didn't even graduate from high school.
Yeah, because I think that's just an art, like cooking and you know what the people like. Yeah. You're looking at them, you're seeing how they respond to what you're putting out, and you're creating more of that. So take us back to the MasterChef.
So we auditioned in Chicago. It was a process of elimination, and it must have been hundreds of us there. So you had to bring the dish that you were presenting already done when you arrived.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, okay, I got to make sure I'm there early. Luckily, I was part of the first set of people to go through. So I was like, okay, well, how am I going to make sure I have this food already hot, or still, at least lukewarm for them to. So I did oxtails over stone ground grits.
I've never had oxtails until, I didn't even know what an oxtail was. You got to give my Chicago people a shout out for them because I didn't know what an oxtail was, never had it. I went to my friend's house and she made oxtails with like lima beans or like a big... Why y'all ain't never teach us nothing? Like, it's so good. Oh my God.
My father actually, maybe like 2 years ago, just introduced me to oxtails. He was like, I'm over here cooking some oxtail soup. I'm like, oxtail soup? What's it taste like? And he brought me some.
Yeah, but we didn't grow up on this.
We didn't. That's why I told them I've never heard of this. I have no idea what this is.
Yeah, until they got popular, you could buy it cheap.
Yeah, they expensive now.
Yeah, they are expensive, right? Expensive, but like a lot of Jamaican food includes oxtails, right? Yeah. Is it okay? Going back to what you were saying though, as far as this bringing this food in, you had to really think about what were you going to cook because not only did it need to be warm, but you didn't want to get something that might get soggy if it had bread in it or like it was really thought that had to go into that process.
I try to prepare food that I like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and thinking about, okay, I don't think nobody else is going to do this.
Yeah.
I didn't see any there. It was probably about 25 of us in the room at a time. Okay. So I'm looking, okay, what did this person have? What does this person have? And so somebody next to me had some bell peppers, stuffed bell peppers. Bell peppers was about as big as his hand, had 3 of them on the plate. I was like, oh. And somebody else had something. You're looking around like, man, nobody's doing what I'm doing. And then there was a process of elimination. Then you see 10 people leave the room, and I'm still there. And I'm like, oh, then another 5 leave. I was like, oh, shoot, I'm doing it. And so at that point, then the judges start coming around and start tasting your product.
Oh, okay.
Because at first it was just the visual.
So some people got kicked out without even being able to.
Baby, some of that stuff I wouldn't have wanted to eat.
You're right. You're right.
But I'm saying real talk, you eat what your eyes first. You eat what your eyes first.
Like,
you have to be attracted to the visual before you can move on to the next part, So then when they came around and they were sampling it and they said it was good, I was like, okay. So then we were able to move on to the next part, which was the interview.
Okay.
Which was the same day. So you had to do the interview in front of the camera to see how you were in front of the camera. And I was like, okay, I don't think I'm good with public speaking. But I was like, after a while, you start getting comfortable and everything went well. So that part went well. So they invited us the next day to do some other stuff. But back when I tell you, it was a process probably that lasted a little less than a year. Psychological evaluation.
Wow, really?
Oh, man. And I get it because...
So you're auditioning to be on the show that you guys say. I don't think I've ever watched the show.
MasterChef.
Yes. Okay.
It's a cooking competition.
Yeah, and they, I think at the time they were filming out of LA.
Okay.
So it's a whole process. So it's a lot. Then you video, you cook, you learn recipes. And
so they're just not throwing people on this show.
Oh no, it's serious. And then I get it because you work in an extreme circumstance, real hot real cold. You're dealing with, hundreds of people that have different, attitudes and their way of life and sharp objects and stuff. You got to make sure, I guess, these people are mentally prepared to be in situations like this.
Very true.
'Cause
And
people
under
get
pressure.
hurt. Yeah, under pressure. And then you have people that's, this extreme, the judges, that will push you to your limits. And
you got to make sure you're emotionally intelligent to be able to be in those predicaments.
Yeah.
So you said it was oxtail and stone
ground grits. So some people call it polenta.
Okay.
But we know it as grits. So
Okay,
it's a corn. So it's the yellow grits that we would use opposed to the white.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
All they got to have that is.
Girl, well then, about a girl out of Robertson.
Right.
So I made it as far as to the point where they were getting ready to tell you, who were casted to come. So it was a wonderful experience. I
Yeah, because you said the room started off in your time space with over 50 people. So you would say, how many people overall?
I would say maybe for
Starting from day one.
from day one, maybe 25. But they audition in different states.
Okay, different. Okay, so these are still. So I would say a couple hundred people then, right?
For the show itself,
yeah.
And then you get to the show. From what I see, I didn't make it to that part. You get to the show, and then they would go in 2 at a time, and they would sample, and then they would eliminate daily. So I think the prize might have been like maybe $250,000 and maybe like a cookbook deal or something like that.
And then sometimes I think they get restaurants. I want to say, or they in there. So what did you learn from that experience?
It's hard, and then the opportunities are there. It's right in front of you. Some people can't see the forest for the trees, but you have to be able to move beyond what's right in front of you to take the experience and just try it. Nothing beats a failure but a try.
That's true.
Yeah. So if it don't work, then try.
Do you think it made you a better entrepreneur or cook in your way?
No, this food truck did.
Let's talk about the food truck. Let's get to the food.
Food truck.
Right, but you opened the
restaurant.
before.
So the restaurant was shortly after that. So then
Okay.
when I left SLU, then I knew I was looking for a building to open up a business.
Okay.
And I was looking, couldn't find it. Then I found the perfect spot that had everything in there that I needed. So I opened it up. I had to be like it was on a Friday the 13th, like September 2019, right before the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
Right before the pandemic. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I was destined for greatness.
Yeah. It was in your body.
And it was something that it was inevitable that it was going to happen. So I had a good support system. I already had my following, and it was only going to be successful. It had to be.
So
Restaurants on a easy business.
No, they're very hard.
I think the failure rate is very high in the first year.
Yeah. And then you put on top of that a black restaurant.
And on top of that, COVID, because you
Exactly.
And that right there.
That was
we survived COVID.
You survived COVID, which is amazing. There are. I'm thinking about how many restaurants in Chicago that have closed, like the Signature Road and Eddie V's. Like, these people did not survive COVID. They've been around for
30,
decades.
40, 50 years. Yes.
So tell us about your experience opening up the restaurant. You find a space.
So I found a space, opened it up maybe about a month and a half after I had signed a lease on the property, because you got to go through the inspections and make sure everything is good, your licenses and everything is up to par. So I opened it up. I had my brother at the time, rest in peace, he passed away a couple of years ago, but my brother, my sisters, my sister-in-law, my niece, my daughter was getting ready to graduate from high school. She was going to college at the time. And it worked. Man, I'm telling you.
You put everybody working.
Oh, man. And I told
This is a family affair.
And so my girl, Trinice, I knew that she was going to be the first person I hired. I told her, I don't know where we're going to open it up, but wherever you at the time, I'm coming to get you. My friend Trinette, we went to school together. That's her daughter, and she was a phenomenal. If I put the spoon down, she know how to pick it up and finish what I was doing. So she was great.
What you call those sous chefs?
Man, look, she was great for me. And when I opened it up, I went and got her, brought her with me, and so that was my sous chef, my assistant at the time. And baby, when we first opened, the line was out the door.
What type of food? Wait a minute. What type of food?
I don't call it soul food. I call it comfort food, because I didn't cook greens or dressing every day. But what I did, I never had a standard menu. I cooked what I wanted to cook.
Oh, so every day the menu
Every day it changed. It changed. And I also listen to my customers what it is that you want, because it doesn't make sense for me to continue to cook something that you're not going to eat.
Right. Why keep it on the menu if they
Right, because I don't like liver. But baby, when I tell you they like that, they
like that.
oh no, they live in onion and rice, but I give them what they want. And then you have your...
It's not about you.
Yeah, exactly. And I realize that. You know, it's not what I like, it's what they like.
I just heard I can't remember, I'm always taking in information, but I just heard a guy say that my hobby is what I do. My business, what I love. My business is what my customer loves. Because I gonna give them what they love, and then I'm gonna go do my hobby. So you don't eat liver, right? But they do, so I'm gonna cut liver that's gonna be on the menu.
Yeah. So my menu changed daily. You know, I try to make sure they have their meatloaf and, you know, stuff that they like on Sundays, and I would, you know, maybe cook dressing on a Tuesday.
And they feel like home.
Yeah.
Like when you go home, you eating something different every day.
Yeah. Right. But gotta have fish on Friday.
Gotta have fish on Friday. And East I was just telling my friends, I was like, y'all, I don't think I've ever seen frozen fish until I went to college. Like, because when my family, on Fridays, we ate fish, but we went to the fish market.
Yeah.
And walk in and the man pick out the fish, chop it up, wrap it up in paper, and we go home and fry.
Absolutely.
I didn't even know they froze fish until I was older.
Yeah, and then a lot of people, we eat jack where we from.
Yes, we do, and a lot of people don't.
No, they call it whiting.
Yeah, they do
whiting though. Even down south, they don't eat fish with bones in it or stuff. You know.
Wait a minute, they don't eat buffalo?
Girl, nobody eat buffalo with us. And you can't be born and raised on it. You can't be in your 40s trying to for the first time.
You have to be.
Let me say this. I'm going to preface this with say, I know that you can't have a fish fry without getting some buffalo. But I don't eat no buffalo because I'm not going to be in my mouth trying to get a bone without.
But now they got scored buffalo. They
they do.
I was going to say, but it is a side.
The hard side doesn't have as many.
I'm not a buffalo, but it's so good.
It is.
It's so good.
Yeah. For what? The buffalo?
Oh my God.
I don't like buffalo.
It's good.
Well, you know, people.
But I just eat my jack because I want to get to it.
Get to the point. But a lot of people don't know about it.
They don't.
No, they don't.
I did not know that.
Yeah, but in the different areas they call it whiting, but they don't eat it on the bone.
It's just already filleted.
Yeah.
No, I want to eat mine.
I want my jack.
I like jack fillet. I like whole jack. And cat fillet was my favorite. And then it just started tasting too fishy.
It's too fishy.
I don't know, like all of a sudden, like the last few years,
a lot of
it's
the
just been
farm
tasting
stuff is different.
really
If you get
fishy.
some wild caught, it's just
That's what I said. I didn't know nothing about no frozen fish until I went to college. So.
Yeah.
So you got the restaurant. You put all the family to work.
Yeah, but everybody.
And you said, well, on the first day you were already down the.
Baby, that line was around. I was like, man, where they coming from? They keep coming. And it was great because I have built relationships with a lot of those people because I was open for like 4.5 years. So, you know, seeing those kids, you know, go through high school and graduate and go to college. Some of my customers at the time, they were pregnant. So you see them coming in with the babies. And then seeing some of my, you know, mother friends or, you know, people that knew you when you were a kid and come in like, man, that's little Christi, you know. And I'm like, I'm grown now, you know, but I'm still little Christi to them. But I was able to give a scholarship to a young guy that would come in on a regular, and I was like, I'm following him through high school. And I told him, I said, when you graduate from high school, you come and see me. And when he graduated, I said, you bring me your diploma when you graduate. And that boy was he was Keon. I love that little boy. And so he came in and CNC gave him $500. Our first scholarship that we was able to give for him to go to college with, and I followed him on throughout. So it was rewarding to just see the people come in and just enjoy my food. And then when the pandemic hit, I was like, man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But baby, when I tell you the neighborhood was like, you are an asset to us.
Yes.
And I had people that would come in and just drop money down. So if an essential worker come in, can you make sure their meal is paid for? I had a lady come in one day, and she gave me an envelope. And I was like, oh, this must be one of those, people trying to sell something or give you something to come to church or whatever. So no, white lady. So I put it in my apron. Someone was like, look in it. And I opened up the envelope, and it was a card, had some words of encouragement, and it was a $100 bill in there.
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wait a minute. So I was like, hey, y'all, go find that lady. Go find that lady. So I went outside and was looking for her, and she was walking down the street, just walking down the street. Never seen a lady before, never. And I was like, hey. And so the boys next door, was a house next door, and they was like, everything okay? I said, yeah, stop her. And so they was like, ma'am, you know, she's looking for her. She turned around, I was like, thank you. And she just waved her hand. And from that day on, I noticed that she lived in the neighborhood. She wasn't a customer of mine. And I would see her drive by every now and again. And they said that we just wanted to help you.
Yeah.
We know it's hard times, and people would cash out me. I had another lady, Coretta Bozeman. She wouldn't come out, but she said, hey, at least I could pay for some meals for me, Central Works, to come in. And they would come in, they would have their stories, and I would pay for people's meals and stuff coming in.
South End?
Yeah, my sister married to a Bozeman. Yeah,
Bozeman's used to have the little store across the street from Dunbar that we used to go to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha,
But it was cool to see the people that had the means to look out for people, because people would come in and be like, I'm not working. Not that they were looking for anything, but they were like, this one lady in particular, she was like, I'm not working, but I wanted a good meal. She was like, I wanted to come here. And then when she got ready to pay, I was like, this on me. And then to see the tears and the happiness, I'm like, man, this is what I live for. This is it. Yeah.
Wow.
Your heart was with the people.
Yeah.
So 4 years,
Yeah.
surviving COVID, had some ups and downs. You would say, will you say the restaurant stretched you as an entrepreneur?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, in what ways?
Taught you how to survive, man. Because day one, you making, great money.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see a tremendous drop. You're like, man, what I'm gonna do next? This is how I eat. This is how I pay the bills. This is what I need to do. So you're like, okay, I gotta hustle. I mean, owning a restaurant, not even that, just being an entrepreneur, period. It's a hustle every day.
It is.
And if you don't work, you don't get paid.
If you don't, what they say, if you don't go hunt, you don't have no meal.
No, because working at Swoop, I decided I want to go on vacation, 2 weeks.
Right.
Vacation, my money's still gonna be deposited in my account.
Right. Yeah.
It's a hustle every day, but it's so rewarding. I'm my own boss. I do what I want to do, and I make it work.
So and you had a good time at CMC Food for Your Soul, but then you rolled out the food truck, which is Soul Burger.
Yes.
Okay. How did you go from the restaurant to the food truck?
I was doing both.
Oh, you were. Oh, you must got a good staff.
Oh, baby, look, it was me.
Family.
It was family. It was family at the beginning. And then after a while, then I was able to hire staff or people, and then sometimes I would be in it by myself, because it would be hard to have people to work. When I tell you, when we went through the pandemic, people weren't working.
Yeah, because
they were getting the extra income, and I'm like, how
they were making more money not working than actually working.
Exactly. So then that's when I believe DoorDash and Uber Eats were making all of the money, because people weren't coming out.
Yeah.
People weren't coming out. Right. So Nautica, which is currently my sis, she happened to come in one day and asked me, was I hiring? And I was like, as a matter of fact, I was like, yeah, let me see it. And so I've been working with her. She's been phenomenal. So she's my sidekick. So after it was an opportunity that came forth to start the food truck. And it wasn't even my idea. So, no.
Tell us about that.
Somebody came to me and was like, well, my daddy owned hamburger stand in East St. Louis, which you all probably know as Sheba's.
Oh no! Let's back up.
I did not know where to go.
Let me tell you something. Wait, let me start.
You guys are listening.
Yes,
Sheba Burgers in East St. Louis is legendary. Okay,
I did not know that.
We will walk there and pray they were open. Okay.
So what? So
this is making more sense. Where the
but you don't know. Okay. So let me say. So my daddy built the building.
Okay.
Okay, so obviously I had to be about 5 years old or something like that. So he actually built the building, and when he had it, it was ice cream delight. Okay. So he had ice cream, what we do is the Reubens and the pastrami sandwiches and the hamburger. Mm-hmm. And so after a while, after he had it for so long, then Miss B came around, and my daddy sold it to her, and then she changed the name to Sheba.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
And she owned Sheba's, and we know it's Custer's Land Stand, the ice cream stand on State Street in Washington Park. Mm-hmm. So she continued it on. So yeah, my daddy was the one that originally.
So you already had this in your blood.
But you don't know. you a kid. I'm outside playing on the rocks, and I'm the youngest. The oldest sister was 21, and the youngest was 15 when I came,
Oh, wow.
And then my nephew, have a nephew that we're the same age, so you're not tripping off of that. It wasn't instilled in me. It was like,
But subconsciously it was, though.
Yeah.
Because you're seeing it. You're in it.
Yeah.
It's part of you. What my sister say, it got to be in you.
It's in you.
It can't be on you.
That's right.
It's in you. When I hear that and I'm hearing your story,
Yeah.
this was always this is your destiny. This is your journey. So you get the food truck and tell us about that. Wasn't
And
even
it
your
was a
idea?
hamburger truck. It wasn't even my idea. Someone brought it to my attention. Was like, hey, you are basically good at what you do. I'm good at what I do. Why don't we collaborate together? And I'm like, well, I don't collaborate with nobody. I'm 100% me.
Yep.
I'm not transparent with my money with no one. And then he was like, but we could do this. I've seen your work. We could do this together. And I'm like, and I dodged that phone call. Dodged, and then I had been saving money, putting money to the side. And then the owners of the truck that I currently have was selling the truck. And then the guy came to me and was like, hey, this truck is available. It had every single thing that we needed.
Wow.
Every single, only thing that we needed to change was the wrap on the truck.
Wrap on it.
So I was like, I was contemplating.
I know, that collaboration is hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay,
You
we
gotta
want
find the
multiple
right
streams of income, so why not? I can cook. Let's make it work. The amount of money I needed is what I had saved for whatever reason, because I like to vacation, so I could have been in the Caribbean with that. But I was like, okay, but this next move will allow me to do that. Yeah.
Right.
So then we opened up Soul Burgers. We came the collaboration of the name. And I'm like, Soul Burgers. I was like, that's pretty urban. I was like, I don't know about that. That's, it was catchy, but I'm like, there's some ghetto stuff. I don't know. But it worked. We hit the ground running. We had to make sure we got our permits, whether it was St. Louis City, St. Clair County, and he at the time had a food truck also, which made it easier for me to make the decision because the truck he had been successful.
And he knew the industry already.
Yeah.
And what you can do is cook. So you're gonna make
So
it
you
work.
might as well work with somebody.
But I guess I'm wondering, how are you going to make it work between the restaurant and the truck if it's mainly you doing the
So I
work?
guess it was hard. It was hard because now I'm focusing more, because the food truck season goes from like March to November.
Okay.
And then you can go hard on the food truck, in the restaurant in the wintertime. But you schedule the truck for, certain events. And you will hope that your partner could, kind of take on those responsibilities if I have, to take care of the restaurant. So that worked because it started in the latter part of the year. So then I would do the restaurant, and then I would just have to, call off. And then at the one point, I'm like, man, I got to make sure my customers are good. But then I'm like, I can't apologize for me trying to be great. You got to understand. And then I make my own schedule. So this is the time I'll be at the restaurant, and then this is the time I'll be on the truck. So then it got to the point where it was just overwhelming. It was too much.
It was too much.
Because
Just
I
two
was running, because shortly after the collaboration, then the guy decided he wanted out.
Oh, really?
Oh.
So he calls for the collaboration. He has the experience in the food truck, and then he decides, I don't want to do this Soul Burgers no more.
Yeah.
And he wanted it to be called Soul Burgers.
Yeah. So he wanted
Oh, my
out.
goodness.
So he was like, okay, either you can buy me out or I can buy you out. I said, well, you can go because you want to leave, not me.
Wow. So was he going to go forward with the, how was
Was
he
the
going to buy
partnership
you?
not working out anymore?
For him, it wasn't.
For him.
Okay.
But I guess that was his season to show me what I needed to do
Yeah.
to make it a success.
That's very
So
true.
you can go ahead and do whatever you need to do to make
It was a guide for
that
a
part.
season.
Yeah, yeah. So, it wasn't a good breakup, but it had to happen.
It had to.
So I continued on with what I needed to do, and then I was like, this is just too much owning two businesses on my own.
Oh, yeah.
And right now the food truck is what's happening. And then the food truck was making more money right now than the restaurant. So I'm like, this needs to be done. So I decided to close CNC after 4 years, And just like Jordan, you got to bow out when it's good. And so don't just keep pushing it. You know, you can't keep the horse when it's down. So go ahead and leave while you can. Leave.
And I'm sure that was hard because
oh man, that was my baby.
Yeah, and the people. Yeah,
that was my baby.
It's hard.
Yeah, and so but it's good to see when I'm on the set when my customers come and I post it, the truck is gonna be there and they show up. Oh man, we miss you, and I knew them by name.
Look, I tried to catch you so many times. I was like the Sawbirds because the Tower Grove. It's not too far from my house, and so I'm like, okay, are you gonna be at the food truck Friday this Friday? He's like, no, not this Friday.
Because we're not at each. So they send us a schedule.
They cycle. They cycle the food truck. So when they have it, you know,
and they send you a schedule for you to pick the days that you're available. And if you make it, you make it. If not, then you know, because it's a lot of us on the set.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like that's like a world and language and a lot happening that the public don't understand.
Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah, because I just can't roll up in a truck in front of your house.
No. I mean, for private events,
right?
Yeah,
but you just can't roll up on the corner on Kings Highway and say I'm gonna sell some
food trucks were getting sued and everything for parking downtown St. Louis when the industry first started.
You have so many feet that you can't park in front of restaurants.
Yep.
Okay.
And even with St. Louis City permits, you have a perimeter that you can go to. Now, if you're within a perimeter, you can pull up whenever you want to.
But I'm sure other food trucks like, well, I was here first. How long you gonna be here?
Well, no,
it don't work like that.
No, first come, first serve. So if you here, then you just get behind them. Or park across the street. Okay. You know, and then we have a food truck association also. So when you're
that's why I feel like it's the whole world.
Oh, it is. Yeah. And then and it's so expensive because you have the fees, the permits. You have not only do you have the permits for the county, then you have to have it for each municipality also.
So that's what I was going to ask you. Is the overhead for a restaurant less than the overhead for the food truck, or is it comparable? It's more for the food truck?
Because you have rent at the restaurant. So if you don't own the building,
the overhead for the restaurant is more. Okay, that's what I thought the food truck might be.
So at least if you own your truck, you just pay for insurance and product.
And your permits.
And your permits and your product. So if you have private events, so if you decide, hey, I'm having a birthday party for my son or whatever, you know, a lot of us have minimums that you have to cover it, and then we show up at your house and then we go.
It's a food truck.
Yeah, but if we have, say, if on the corner of 8th and Market, if we decide we want to show up, you just show up and then you hope to make some money. So, but you want to guarantee your money. So we have with the Food Truck Association, we have some leads. And we have people like you all may be like, hey, I'm having a birthday party. You send it to the Food Truck Association, then they send it out to all the food trucks. And then if it's something that you want, I want a burger truck, or I want a hot dog truck, then I know I got a burger truck. Hey, my name is so-and-so, I own Soul Burgers, and I'll send you my menu, and this is my information if you're interested in what I have, and if you can afford my minimum, or we can discuss something different, then you will contact me, and then we'll go back and forth with each other. So that's a good organization to be affiliated with, because that's where we get a lot of our leads, and a lot of people just contact them, whether it's Washington University, Boeing, a lot of the big companies around. It's easy for them to contact one entity opposed to them.
It is.
So, and I want to know regarding the food trucks, do you guys have like certain places that you go to like for all that actually fix food truck things? You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it seems like it's a specialty field now. And so
you know, you have the companies that builds the product on the truck. So I have a Cummins generator. If that go out, you make sure you want to go to Cummins. Or if you have, my truck it's a diesel truck. So you got to kind of like go to the places where the 18-wheelers and the diesels are we all communicate with each other. Like, hey, Tiffany, who works on your car, who works on your truck? And we all kind of like, you know, work with each other. It's a lot. It's a lot of maintenance on it too. It's like as soon as you get something good and then something break down, and you got the deep fryers, and you have.
That's what I was saying. Like all that food equipment, and then it's on the truck.
Oh yeah, because I have a freezer, upright freezer, refrigerator, steam table, deep fryer. It's a kitchen. It's a kitchen on wheels.
On wheels.
Yeah, it's a kitchen on wheels.
So what's next? You've been in business for 3 years. You're seeing a lot of success. people know who you are. I gotta taste this soul burger.
Baby,
Can't wait.
I definitely want to say
I can't wait to taste the soul burger.
Yes.
Where do you see yourself going? What's the next chapter for you?
I don't know. Right now, we got a good reputation.
You
on the
do.
street. Oh man, we have a good reputation, and I need to keep it that way.
Really?
And I just want to be able to mentor other individuals to do the same business. Yeah, employ as many people as I can. And I wish my daughter was interested in it, but she's not. So I know cooking isn't for cooking isn't for everybody. But I love it. I don't really have the interest of expanding other than just focusing on the truck that I have now, because nobody's gonna do it like me.
I love that too, because when we ask like, what's your definition of success? So many people think like, I need 10 stores, I need all this, but sometimes it's just having quality
Yes.
where you are
Yeah.
and being good with that. And like you said, instead of going this way, I could go this way, because
Yeah.
now I can teach other people
Yeah.
the blueprint to do this. And ain't nobody gonna, like you said, do your baby like you.
They coming from me.
Yeah.
And then I can only teach you the best that I can. Even we could do the same recipe. Her hand might be a little heavier with the pepper than it is mine.
Right,
But
yeah.
I can give you the fundamentals and give you the foundation, and then you can make it yours.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, I'm just continue. Soul Burgers is going to be phenomenal. I have some good stuff that I have planned for this year.
Can you give us
Oh,
just a
man.
little bit? What do you got there?
I have, some different stuff that I want to do other than just burgers, and even for catering, even though it's predominantly burger truck, I can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
My culinary skills go beyond just burgers. I bake, I cook, I'm
Yeah,
sick.
you started baking first.
Yeah.
Bacon took you to Canada.
Yeah, so I'm just looking forward to see where Soul Burgers could take us. I mean, Soul Burgers and CNC helped pay for my daughter to go to college. I've been able to travel around the world to see places other than, we were kids, your parents really did, they allowed you to do things, but we're from East St. Louis, and you go to your cousin's house in Mississippi and in Ohio.
Some of us
and
don't
places
go
like that. But to be able to go places that my mother and father probably never even thought of doing, able to take.
Live.
Yes, not just living, not just being alive. out there.
Existing.
Yeah. You haven't told us about what you're doing next, but tell us about some of the places that you have, sir. Because I've seen your posts. You were at Powell
We did
Hall.
Powell Symphony Hall, so we were able to kind of give back. They instead of giving you the full price of what you would pay, they would ask if you can give us a discount on this, if we'll cover that. We have I don't know if it was a VIP event or something, so we did small bites.
Okay.
So we did 600 mini burgers,
Wow.
all hand patty. Oh my God, man! Me and my
Two people.
work two. But I said I didn't want to see another burger that day. It was hot. I don't even know. It's never hot. It was hot that day. I did sauteed onions and mushrooms. I grilled the bread. We did all those little mini burgers. And when I tell you, those people ate all 600 of those burgers.
Wow.
They kept coming. And they was like, this is the best thing here. This is the best thing here. And I was like, eat them all. I don't care how many you had. You got.
So there were other people there.
So they had somebody over here selling, doing like popcorn. You had somebody over here doing drinks. You had somebody over here doing desserts. They had egg rolls. They had a little bit of everything. And they was like, can I have another one? Yes, you can have as many as you want. But it was good because I was able to take some people to the symphony who had never even been.
Right.
And so when the event was over, they were like, you can stay if you want to. I was like, well, yeah, we were going to stay. So we were walking, and then, I called my older generation Auntie. So Auntie was walking around, and she was like, are you all staying for the event? And I was like, yeah. She was like, okay. She told her work. She said, put them in a suite.
Oh, nice.
Give them box seats. So we go up there, and the view was phenomenal. And to see the employees that I had there that was like mesmerized or what they saw, that was so rewarding because I've been there before. But to take somebody somewhere that they've never been, and then when we got done, the people was like, because we dressed. My people got to be in their gear when we go because I'm my own walking advertisement.
Yep.
And so when we got done, they was like, oh, you all with the burger? Can I get your business card? Yeah.
That's what I was gonna say. You seem like you were able to expose your business to a totally different audience as well. well.
Yeah, because when it was over, they had a reception, so they had champagne and non-alcoholic beverages and little treats for us. And to be able to meet some people that I wouldn't just normally meet at the food truck, and well, how do you, man? It's so great, the networking, the possibilities to be able to expand is there. You just can't be scared to do it.
You can't be when it shows up, which I think you have a very good track record of doing that. When the opportunity presents itself, even if you're like, you take the faith to go to it. So like opening the food truck, even though you didn't want to do the collaboration, right? And somebody can look at it and say like, oh, that was a failure, but it wasn't, because you able to collapse time frames.
Yeah.
And I tell people that get a guide, get somebody that's done it, because at least you can have chances of success being even greater, because you use what may have took them 5 years to learn, you can learn from them in 30 months.
Yeah.
Really, really quick. So I think you have, just listened to your story, you're not afraid to take those leaps.
Oh yeah, they say if you want to be a billionaire, you got to hang around millionaires, right?
You do.
And you can't soar with the eagles if you're flocking with the chickens.
You know that's right.
Yeah.
You know that's right. So, if someone's sitting there, our audience, and they're like, I want to go into this space. I can cook. This is something that's in my heart, and I want to go the food truck way. Can you give them 3 to 4 tips that will get them started?
Don't do it. Wait, don't do it.
No, he said all that.
Don't do it. No. I would say it has been the best and the worst decision I've ever made in my life.
Oh, wow.
But the good part about it is like, man, it can take you to places that you have never been, or places that you've never even thought about going. You know, it's money to be made. It's no limit.
It's no limits.
It's no limit, but you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared, and it's a lot of work. So if you think that it's just going to be a 9 to 5, oh no, you working 12 hours, you working 24 hours, because when you sleep, you're still thinking about it.
You are.
Oh wow, yeah, I've been in the bed so many times, this mind just racing. Then tomorrow I need to do it. And then man, I forgot to write this down.
It don't stop, but I love it because it's never the same day twice. I love it. So if you're interested in doing it, I say try it. And if it don't work, try something else.
Try something. Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid. Just do it.
But be ready to work.
Be ready to work, baby. Be ready, because it's your baby. You know, nothing beats a failure but a try. You have to do it. You can't be scared to do it. And just it has to be a passion now. It has to be something that you really enjoy doing, because I love it. I never have gotten up and like, and I don't want to go to this event. Or the food truck, I quit, you know. No, but at one point I quit every day. I quit every day. Oh man, I quit every day.
You hear it? Like, okay, that's enough of me.
I'm done.
But that's just like anything you start at the beginning. Those are the hardest parts.
Yeah,
like,
that is
when
true.
you start working out, like I quit every day.
Every day, yeah.
And then
And
your
people
body
don't
starts
know.
to crave it.
It's a lot of work involved. And people see what's coming in, but they don't see, what's going on. Because oh man, payroll. You know, you got product. You got to make sure everything is good, because it's on me. And if something doesn't go right, they're not gonna say, "Hey, Tiffany, didn't write the right." No, that was Christi. Even though Tiffany worked with me, it's all about me. But I mean, building those relationships with people and the rapport with your distributors and those different businesses that you go to on a regular, it's like, it's great to see them coming in, to go from being able to go for maybe the first couple of months of like, I need 100 burgers. I need 150 burgers. So I'm going in buying 500 burgers or 1,000 burgers at a time. And it's like, man, I have come a long way.
Right.
Come a long
Be
way.
like, that's me.
That's right. And it only gets better. And then when you're walking around and people see you, hey, Soul Burgers, or hey, that's CNC, and I'm walking in the grocery store, Miss C, and I'm like, I'm like, they talking to me. They talking about me. But it feels good, and it feels good for me that when I see people, I be like, hey, Wanda, or hey, Charlie, they be like, you know my name? I'm like, yeah, y'all my family.
Yeah.
Y'all my extended family. And with you all, I can't be successful.
Yep, that's true.
I can't do it by myself.
Yep.
Yeah, I wish I could, but it's not that easy.
It's not.
It's hard, but
I don't think I think everybody that's building a legacy that we bring on here acknowledge that people are your greatest asset.
Oh yeah.
And they understand that.
Yeah.
So when they get good people, they hold on to it.
Yeah, not only do I give quantity, I give quality service, you know, and it's not just about the product, because you can go anywhere and spend your money.
Yep.
But if you go, you have to be nice to people.
You too.
Yeah.
Can you tell some of the people in Chicago?
Yeah, you have to be genuine with people. Because if you're going to be an a-hole when somebody, you know, coming to you, no, I can spend my, you know, and what makes your product different from the next? You got McDonald's, you got Wendy's, you got White Castles, all of them have different products, but what makes you want to come to Soul Burgers?
Exactly.
You know, because to me, it's an experience.
Yeah.
It's more than just the food. I give you an experience. Yeah, and I'm going to keep on doing it. It's only going to get better.
It's only gonna get better.
Yeah.
Now, where can people find you? So
Soul Burgers, if you want to hire Soul Burgers, my number is 618-570-9474. I'm available any day of the week.
Okay.
Any day of the week, Soul Burgers on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm on TikTok, Soul.Burgers. Soul Burgers. So my company is called Soul Burgers by ABC2 LLC. So just contact me via email, soulburgersandshakes@gmail.com. Just call me.
Yeah, and your the information will be here too. We'll make sure we put links to everything, so they can be able to contact you.
No limit to what can be done. We work all hours, you know, as long as it works for you, it works for us. We travel maybe 50 to 60 miles outside of, you know, my local area. We try not to go too far.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can accommodate you from chicken to fish to oxtails to barbecue, whatever your culinary needs. I can accommodate you.
Gotcha. Well, we appreciate you stopping by and sharing your story with our platform. And I want you to know, Christi Robertson, you are a Black Boss Lady.
That's right.
that your legacy will live on the Black Boss Ladies platform.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming.
Yes.
Thank you for joining us on the BBL Platform Podcast, the place where legacies live. We hope you will join us on our next inspirational journey to success. Be sure to rate, like, and subscribe to our show. For more information, please visit our website at theBBLplatform.com.